Hi, my name's Victoria. I am a counselor at the Mood Disorders Association of BC, a branch of Lookout Society. Recent murders by police in the United States have sparked a lot of engagement and interest in race relations, systemic racism, and prejudice in America, here in Canada, and in many other countries. One thing that has been floating around for a while is this media of young children enjoying friendships, very unaware of the race differences between them. And that's really beautiful, but what is often connected to that is this idea that racism is learned, that it's something that we absorb as we grow older from our culture. And that's not quite true. There's a large body of research that describes something called Ingroup outgroup bias. And that's where members of a group consistently rate other members of that group as better in a number of different traits, more attractive, more intelligent, more trustworthy than members of another group. And this has been shown for meaningful groups, and it has also been shown for totally arbitrary groups that were chosen by a flip of a coin. So this bias makes a lot of sense. We know that we used to live in small groups, and group cohesion used to mean life or death. So you would want there to be a lot of loyalty and a lot of cohesion and connection within groups. And maybe you would also want there to be a disconnect between you and other members of a different group who could be a threat. So anytime something is connected to survival, we know that it's going to be showing up in our brains and bodies as in the future and the present, even when it's no longer helpful or no longer useful. So in-group, out-group bias, is it the whole problem? Absolutely not. Is it the biggest part of the problem? No. But if we are serious about meaningful change, it's important that we acknowledge that bias, prejudice, is not just coming from our culture and our history, it's also coming from within. It's coming from our own bodies and brains. The great thing about being human is our capacity for choice. And we cannot choose our natures, but we can choose how we respond to the more unfortunate parts of our natures. And the antidote to bias is awareness. And this goes triple for white people who aren't also dealing with a number of other things like internalized racism. Equip yourself with the knowledge that this bias is a part of you. It doesn't mean anything bad about you. It happens in 1/10 of a second without your knowledge, without your consent. All it means is that your ancestors survived and thrived in small groups. Now, the hard part is being aware of it when it's happening. So a really good sign that this is going on is if you're looking at an individual and you're seeing primarily a member of a group, rather than primarily a person who has their own history, their own past, their preferences, their hopes and dreams, their quirks. If you're looking at someone and seeing a group member that maybe even could be easily interchanged with another member of that group, that's a really strong indication that this bias has gotten ahead of you and you're not quite seeing that person clearly and you're not quite hearing that person very well. So in that moment, awareness is giving you the power to make a different choice. That's all for today. Take care.